Hey guys, welcome back to the CSS course. In this video I'm going to put some images in our awesome CSS HTML template we're working with. This is what we've got at the moment. I'm going to put a couple of images in this video and show you how to position them effectively and make them look really good. But firstly I want to tidy up my CSS file a bit, just make it a bit smaller. Because I've got a habit of using white space when I'm explaining things. I think it might be easier for you guys to just see certain code on its own. Might remember it a bit easier, but and as you can see we've got a few properties now and it's building up quite nicely. So to introduce you to my little images, I've got a folder called monsters on my desktop, and I've got a monster header and a monster footer, and they're PNG files. They've got a transparent background, so they'll fit in really nicely in our web page. So if you don't know how to add images in your web pages, guys, I've got a HTML course you can do. I've done the HTML crash course before the CSS crash course, so there's no excuses, you can follow along, right? So the first thing I want to do is actually put the header monster in our header, and I want the header monster to appear here in this area on the right side of the header. So I'm just going to put it in for now. Image source monsters. Our monsters folder on our desktop, our files are there. So and header monster .png. Alright guys, PNG has a transparency map, so you can have transparent backgrounds. So that's really important if you want to make your web pages look good. Sorry guys, got a bad throat in this video, so let's continue. Let's close it out, and let's put a alternative to the image, CSS monster. Whoops. Alright guys, so if I refresh now, the monster is not found. Monsters, monster footer, monster header. Header monster, that's why guys I named it wrong. Monster header, and it's there at the moment. It's going through our header ID. It's not in the right place, so I want to put it at the side, guys. So to do that, we firstly I'm going to introduce you to another property again, guys. Alright, in the header property I'm going to introduce you to the position property. Alright, and the position controls the position of the style. We can put relative, alright, so we can edit the position relative to its default position. If we put absolute, I can't spell honestly, guys. Alright, this moves the style relative to the actual web browser, so the body. That's that, but I'm going to use relative because I want to change the position also of this image. So in order to change, okay, how can I say this? To change the position of this image relative to the header also needs the position property declared. Alright guys, so that's why I did it here. Our position in the header is declared as relative, so now I can dive in and move the image within the header relative to the position of the header. So that's that. Excuse me guys, so if you didn't understand, I'll explain it in a sec. So I want to style this image within our header, and to do that we can do the same we did here. We can say header, and we want to style the image tag within our header. Alright, in this case it's just one image, so we can do this. Position, and we want it to be absolute, guys, so we want to position it absolute in the header. So if I put bottom, for example, and I want to change it to the right, so I want it to be 0 pixels right, so right at the bottom, 0 pixels right at the bottom, and the right is also 0 pixels from the right. Alright, so straight away I'm going to refresh, and as you can see it's there. It's 0 pixels from the bottom, so it's right on the bottom, and it's 0 pixels from the right, it's on the right. Alright guys, so that's how that works, and it's absolute because we're moving it in an absolute position inside the header. Alright guys, if it was a relative position, let's just show you that. relative. Let's refresh. It's in the same place it was before we applied the style, and we've just moved it. We haven't moved it at all, to be honest, guys. 0 pixels, 0 pixels. So if you want to move it 100 pixels from the bottom, boom, it goes up. We're moving it from the bottom 100 pixels from the right, so I'm just going to go left. Alright guys, so let's get rid of that. Let's change it to absolute again. Boom, that looks pretty cool. I want it to look like he's sitting outside of the header, so I wanted to move him down a bit. So to do that, we put, I don't know, let's put -5, so it's going to go down even more. Boom, there we go. Let's make it -10. That's pretty cool, guys, and I want to actually change the right to about -10 as well. There we go. So he looks like he's outside of this. And just to be on the safe side, guys, back in our actual header, we can declare another property called overflow. So if an element is going outside the style, like this is, we can change it to, we could say hidden, for example. Boom, it's hidden now. But I don't want it to be the case, so I want it to be visible, so I'm just going to put visible. So just to be on the safe side, guys, if you're working in complicated modules of CSS, or if you've got a new web browser that doesn't support these default values, you're going to have some weird looking web pages. So remember to declare this overflow value if you're doing this little trick with CSS. Alright guys, so we're only in the 5th CSS video now, and we're already getting in some decent positioning of our web pages, and it looks pretty cool. So this is my first monster. I'm going to change the footer monster now. Alright, I'm going to put it in, and we did actually called it monster_footer, so just remember that. And within our footer, let's put the image in. It doesn't matter if we put the where we put the tag, guys, because if it's positioned in an absolute way, it's going to be moved in the same position no matter where you declare it. Alright, so with that, let's go on to our monsters. Monster footer.png. So monster_footer, if we go back to our web page, it's in the footer and it's right in the middle now. So by default we've aligned it to the middle after the Unity tips text, but I want it to appear here on the left hand side, guys. So I guess we can do this in a number of ways. Firstly, let's make a new another one, footer image. Images in our footer, we can float it to the left if we wanted to, and that's like that. But as you can see, we can't change the position, so I'm just going to do position again, absolute again. And remember, guys, the parent style has to have position declared as well, so that's relative. Left this time 0 pixels, and top 0 pixels. Alright guys, so there we go, that looks a bit better. And as simple as that, guys. So we've put an image in our footer, we've got an image in our header, and our web page looks a bit more interesting now. To finish up, I want to make things a bit more interesting actually. Border bottom, for example, border bottom 2 pixels solid. Let's make it a shade of grey. Refresh. That looks a bit too dark actually. CCC, let's try that. Yeah, that'd do. So that looks even better. Another, I'm going to try something here, guys. I want the footer to margin top. Whoops. Let's go with 30 pixels, guys. I don't know. And now it's separated by 30 pixels. Actually, let's go 50. I'm just working off the top of my head here, guys. And let's put the position to be -50. So that looks a bit better, I guess. Let's make it even better. -80. Bit of trial and error, guys. So and as you can see now, it looks like the monster's standing inside the footer. It looks a bit more interesting, and the monster's overlapping the footer. Alright guys, so Okay, I'm really going to finish this video in a minute, but there's one more property I want to talk about. It's called the Z index, and this is all about overlapping, guys. If you have two images right on top of each other, which one's going to show, which one's going to be below, and etc. So we can just declare this here. We can put, if we put 100 for example, and we put the Z index of 50 for our other image, and they're overlapping, the Z index of 100 will be on top of the 51. Alright guys, so if you're dealing with lots of images, remember to use the Z index or the Z index, whatever you want to call it. And I think I'll wrap up this video now, guys. So in 2 videos we've made a simple template. We've got a couple of images in there, so in the next video I'll probably wrap things up a bit in this course and go from there. So I'll see you next video, guys.